Hello, good morning. This is Alan Combies, FasterEFT practitioner in Los Angeles, California, and welcome to another episode of Morning Coffee with Alan. Thank you, Lisa Diaz, for that catchy title. So, the purpose of these videos is really to share with you little tips and tricks when it comes to tapping on yourself. And always, though, I suggest, one of the best things you can do for yourself and for your journey, your healing journey, is to find a practitioner that you really like or that you resonate with, and schedule a session with them. Or if you're a practitioner, do a trade. I think it's really important to be worked on by somebody else, as well as doing your own self-healing. When I first found FasterEFT, I was looking for it. You know what I mean? It was like I was looking. I understood. I was studying hypnosis and NLP, and I understood that it was my own monkey mind that was messing me up, screwing me up. And I recognized that emotional freedom technique, traditional EFT, had potential to be something that could help me get out of my own way. And when I found FasterEFT and Robert Smith, I realized right away I realized what he was doing. I realized that he also understood how the mind works, and I recognized the NLP and the hypnosis and what he was doing. And so I just grabbed it. I grabbed a hold of it by the horns and just went with it. And I started tapping on myself right away. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today is, there's really two kinds of tapping, or three, if you think about it. There's getting tapped on by a practitioner, by somebody else. There's working on yourself in a rather intense environment. In other words, you make your own list, you focus on each one of those memories, you tap, release, let it go. You can even use the tree metaphor on yourself. I was just thinking I had another tip. It's like I could share so much, my mind starts going, I don't know where to go. But I'll share this with you real quick, and then I'll get to my real point of the video. One of the things that I did early on when I was working on myself, I didn't have a practitioner to work with me. What I did was I imagined that Robert was actually working on me. So I just imagined that as I was tapping, I imagined what would he say, and I would hear it in his voice, and it was actually pretty crazy because it was almost like he was there tapping on me. The subconscious mind and the mind is a very powerful tool. So use it, and that's what we're doing here. But yeah, so it was literally like, if you don't know what to say or you feel like you're having a hard time working on yourself, imagine another practitioner is there doing it. Imagine Mr. Robert G. Smith is there working on you. It worked for me. So give it a shot. So what I wanted to share with you today, so again, there's working with a practitioner. There's sitting down and working very intently on yourself, setting aside 45 minutes, an hour to really work on your stuff. And then there's tapping in the moment and just tapping as you go throughout your day. And I'm a huge fan of this technique, and just you feel it, you tap, you feel it, you tap, you feel it, you tap. Now, this is not necessarily the best thing to do when you've got all, like I had a client the other day say, I try to tap in the moment, but all this other stuff comes up, and I have all these things, these different memories that come up, and I said, that's good. But if you have like a long-standing chronic issue that you need to work on, I would really suggest going to a practitioner. However, the best thing that you can do between sessions is to tap in the moment when you feel it, and just tap as you go. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. When I first started doing work on myself few years ago, one of the best things that I did was I began to realize that when negative emotions surfaced, it wasn't me, but it was a thought that I had. It was an old belief that I had for a long time that was surfacing, bubbling up from the subconscious, and it was there. And so I began to train myself to, when I felt it, I would just tap, release, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I would find there were certain moments of my day where I would notice these things coming up more than others. And those times a day were usually times when I was going into a bit of a trancey state. Number one was driving. So, you get in the car, you drive, you kind of zone out because you've done it so many times. Maybe you're going to work and you've done the route so many times, you know exactly where you're going, and so you tend to zonk out, right? You tend to sort of just phase out and daydream. So what I noticed was, as I would do that, I would start to feel kind of crappy. Or I'd just notice a bad feeling, and I go, oh, that's interesting, what am I thinking about? And I would notice the thought, and I would just tap in the moment. Of course, I wouldn't use two hands because I'd be driving. I don't suggest that. But you can just tap, let it go, let it go, let it go. Peace. Check back, is it still there? And what I found, the more I did that, what I found was that there was a whole lot of thoughts in there that I used to beat myself up. You know what I mean? It was like I began to realize that I was talking shit to myself a lot and really beating myself up a lot. And I had no idea how much I was doing this. But it's a really interesting thing. When you begin doing this work, you begin to step away a little bit from your thoughts, and you begin seeing your thoughts for what they are, which is just, these old programs that have been running for who knows how long. And a lot of them have been running for so long that you don't even realize. They just become a part of, you think that's the way it is, but that's not the way it is. It's just these thoughts, these old beliefs. So you may notice that as you begin to sort of train yourself to feel those feelings, notice the thought, tap, release, let go, that more will come in. And I often get this feedback from people, and that's what, in fact, what I experienced too. Is, they say I tapped, but it was like another thing came up, and then I tapped, and another thing came up. And here's the key to this work, is that when that happens, that is a blessing, my friend. And it really is an opportunity for you to continue healing. So again, this is not like deep work. This is sort of just like, there it is, let it go, let it go. And even if you feel like you're not getting a lot of relief, just keep doing it. Just keep going, because you are making a difference in your life by acknowledging the thought, the feeling, the thought, tapping, release, let it go, let it go, let it go. Deep breath, blow it out, peace. And be as thorough as you can, but just tap. Just do it. Interrupt those patterns of thought. So driving, I found, was a very good time to do that. Another opportunity for you to do that is to meditate. And meditation, typically the purpose of meditation is to sit, relax, focus on your breathing, and clear your mind. But before you get to that clear mind state, what generally happens? I don't know about you, but for me, what happens is all of these thoughts pop into my head. As soon as I sit and close my eyes and start to think about, focus on my breathing, before I can get to any space of, clearness, whatever you want to call it, that meditative state, I have a lot of things that pop into my head. And so this is another opportunity for you to notice, how are these thoughts making you feel? Are they making you feel good, or are they making you feel like crap? So notice the bad feelings as they come up, tap, release, and let go. So inevitably, when you sit down to meditate, you're going to have thoughts that bubble up from the subconscious. Notice them. Notice the feeling they create. If it's negative, tap, release, let go. So in fact, you don't even have to really meditate. Maybe you can, but just the process of attempting to quiet your mind can be an opportunity for you to tap in the moment and continue on your healing journey. So I hope this was helpful for you. It's like when in doubt, just tap. And for the big stuff, I definitely recommend seeing a practitioner. There's so many great ones out there. And the best thing about practitioners is that we all are working on ourselves, and the good ones know that the more they work on themselves, the more they can help you and people like you. And so it's a healing journey, and we promote, if you watch a lot of these videos from practitioners, they're all sharing with you how you can heal yourself. And you would think it would be counterintuitive, right? You would think they wouldn't give you some sort of spiel, some sort of selling spiel as why you should use them as a practitioner. But that's not the way it goes here with FasterEFT. The way it goes is we want you to take these skills with you. Come sit with a practitioner, get focused attention, get worked on by someone who understands the system, the FasterEFT system, and then learn from them and take the skills with you, so that in between sessions and throughout life you will have a skill that you can use to become a better you, become a better person, become someone who can be loved, become someone who can love themselves, and your world will change. That's pretty much the way it goes. So thanks for watching. This is Alan Combies, FasterEFT practitioner in Los Angeles, California, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.